Jen, who creates all of your graphic designs and marketing pieces? I do. I don't know which question I get more. That one, or do you know you sound like Drew Barrymore? But today I'm actually gonna share with you 6 different template ideas that I designed myself inside of Canva, and seriously how easy this is. You don't have to be techie, you don't need to be a graphic designer, and it's also gonna be something that's gonna help you save time if you create your templates like this and allow you to rinse and repeat the process with the different type of content pieces you create and help you stay on brand for the pieces that you want to have your brand look and feel. So I'm actually gonna turn my screen around and share my computer with you to show you how I set up the different templates for the types of content I'm creating and how you can apply it and customize it for yourself. So if you're new to this channel, what's up? I'm Jen Johnson. I'm an online business development strategist, and I help coaches and course creators create, market, and sell with ease so that you can enroll more dream clients doing what you love. Now, with that being said, be sure to subscribe as I flip my screen around, and I'll see you on the other side. Ta-da! Here we are over on Canva. Go to canva.com. Now, keep in mind, I do have the paid version of this app. I do highly suggest, if you're going to be going down this rabbit hole and creating your own graphics, to upgrade to the pro version. I'm not an affiliate for that, but it's like $12 a month, and then you get way more options on your graphics. So I highly suggest doing that. Now you can actually set up all of your branding stuff, like your fonts and your brand colors and all of that, by heading over to your brand kit, and you can upload all of that there, and that's going to make what I'm about to show you so much easier for you to design as well. So keep that in mind. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to create a design, and you really want to think about what type of content you like to create. What type of graphics do you like to create? Where do you like to create them for? Because then that helps you figure out what type of templates that you want to use. So let's just start with one of my favorites, because I promised you I would share my top 6 with you that I love to create with. And of course, one of them is going to be YouTube, obviously. So we're going to go over to the YouTube thumbnail, because that's what I will be creating for this actual video, is a thumbnail for this content. And so then what I do is, you can always type in a search of anything that you want in terms of a theme or a look or colors. And, you know, for me, I kind of have this little neon vibe going on. So sometimes I'll type in neon and see what pops up, if there's anything that catches my eye, and I can create from there. But also keep in mind, you don't have to type anything in. You can just go looking at, you know, maybe the different niches. There's music, there's food, there's beauty, all of those things. So what I'm going to suggest doing is, before you start creating, I would take this graphic that has nothing on it, and I would duplicate it. Not delete it, duplicate it. So we have 1, we have 2, let's duplicate it again, 3, 4, and 5. It's good to have a handful of different templates that you can circulate and rotate within your content. It makes, if you look at my thumbnails on YouTube, they're all like, there's only a handful of different looks right now, and I might switch that up later, but I like to just keep it simple. So I'll go into my template and be able to just change the picture, change the title. I can switch up the coloring a little bit, but then it's just done. I don't have to sit here and think, gosh, how am I going to make the perfect thumbnail today? You know, they're all just done. You don't have to worry about it. So let's just grab this one. This looks fun. And you know, this girl looks fun, but you can actually just delete all the elements that you don't want. And then once you have your brand color set up, you're going to see it here in this palette section. So now I can change that to be different colors. I can have that be the colors that I like. And, you know, if I want to keep those black, I can. If I want to turn that to one of my blue colors, I can. And then what you can do, you might be wondering, well, how did she get herself on there, you know, with no background or anything? It's not that hard. You're going to go into your uploads and you're going to pick a picture. So like I used this, something like this, I think, on my last thumbnail. And I just took a picture of myself, and then I go edit the image and I hit background remover. Now keep in mind, this is a pro feature. This is one reason why you want to go pro with Canva, because it's going to make these graphics so much easier. Now I actually ended up not using this picture, I remember, because as you notice, you can see like this line right here where I cut myself off. So if I was going to use this, I would actually want to put it to the left over here, or I would want to flip it so that I could put it this way, and now it doesn't look cut off. Does that make sense? So, but that's how you can actually create graphics, where you can just import yourself and have that background remover feature, and then you just change your text, and then that would be one template. So then we just do the same thing. We're going to go back over to the templates and just find ones that really stand out for you. Maybe you're in the beauty space. You can look at all the different, you could go through search, or again, you can go through the niche sections. There's like food, there's beauty, so whatever niche you might be in, you can search that way as well. So if you're in the beauty space, this might be a fun one. And keep in mind, you can delete all the elements that you don't like, and then you can always head over to the elements section and then maybe find ones that you do like. So maybe you don't like this flower, but you like this little, oops, let's undo that. You like this little paint blob here, and then you can actually add that in like so. And then again, you're just going to go in and take whatever picture and replace it, and it's going to be there for you. So, and if you don't want your background in the picture, you can just do that background remover. It's going to take everything out, and then it's going to make it more of a clean look for your actual thumbnail. So this is what I do. And then once I have all of my templates in place, I just come in and reuse them. I come in and say, okay, which one haven't I used in a minute? I'll change out the picture. I'll change the title. I might change the coloring a little bit. And it just takes not that long. Once you have it might take a little longer for you to really nail down which templates you want to use. But once you find them, and you can start to customize them, and once you have them pretty dialed in for yourself, like this is a fun one. Again, you can delete these elements. You can change the color of this background. Oh, that one's kind of fun. I kind of like it. And it's kind of making a weird color. It's not actually making my brand color. But that's okay. We're just gonna let that roll. And you can delete specific elements. If you don't like these squigglies, get rid of them. You don't like the dots, get rid of them. And then you can just add and keep what you want. Now, once you have all this in place, these are your templates and you're done, and you can just start to plug and play into the actual templates you've already created and not have to worry about it. So thumbnails, YouTube thumbnails, because they can take so long, because you want to have the perfect thumbnail, right? Everybody needs a perfect thumbnail so it's clickable, all of that. But if you already know ones that are working well, that are clean, that you like, and they work well with the aesthetic of your channel and all that stuff, just keep rinsing and repeating it. Make it really, really easy. And if you get bored, you can always add another one. But at the end of the day, this is going to save you so much time. So now let's go back, and we'll go to another template that I like to do this with. You're going to rinse and repeat this concept, by the way. But I love doing this with carousels. And it's funny because I still run across people that aren't sure what carousels are. So we're going to actually go to Instagram post. And I know there's like a different sizing metric now for Instagram posts. It's not actually a square, but this works for the templates. So if you go in and type out carousel, it's going to bring up actual carousels for you. And so carousels, if you don't know, are basically those pictures you see on Instagram where you can swipe and you see multiple graphics, and they're very great. This is very great savable content. You're usually giving away really juicy tips and information here where people want to save it and refer to it later. So a little bonus tip for you. So ultimately, having templates, because creating these carousels can be crazy time consuming. It's honestly not my favorite thing to sit down and create, because there's like usually 8 to 10 slides. That it's like a little slide presentation. But having these different types of templates in place make it so much easier. And again, you just customize it. So one post might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 templates, right? So you're going to just plug and play. You're going to click on it, then you're going to go to the next one. And I don't always do these in the exact order. This one, it looks like you might want to do it in the exact order, but you don't always have to. You can always plug them in differently. And then once you have them all added, let's pretend we added all of them. Then you're just going to go in and again, customize everything. You can customize your fonts, and you can add, if you go to like freefont.com or font.com, whatever that, defont.com, you can find a bunch of different types of fonts that you prefer. If you don't like the ones that are in here, there's already a ton in here. Or you can go to things like Creative Market and you can find even templates there. You can find templates that you can actually bring into Canva because they've created them on Canva, and you can, have different templates that you're editing out and making your own and things like that. But fonts, templates, all of that on creativemarket.com. I'll link all this in the bio, the description below. So yeah, now you're just going to customize with your fonts. You're going to drag in your picture, your name, your user handle, and just start like making this really, really simple, and you don't have to keep the text the same way if you want to put a little bit more wording or change that up. This just gives you a base point so that it just looks good. It looks clean. You don't have to think about creating it from a blank canvas all the time. So this would be one template, like however many of these you use, right? And I don't always use the same amount every time. So I sometimes I'm shuffling things around, but then again, you're going to go ahead and add a new design. And then you want to look for a different template. Maybe you have 3 or 4 different carousel templates that you like to bounce between. And you'll just go back and search for another template, like maybe this one. Oh, look, it's like little cartoony ones. These ones are always cute. And you'll keep duplicating and adding the actual graphics that you want. Again, customizing your colors, changing everything out the way you want it to look, the fonts, and then your content. And now you'll have like 4 or 5 different carousel templates that are already good to go. You can just plug and play every single time. It makes batching content so much easier. It makes creating it so much easier. And then I do this same thing. Let's go back and create another design. I don't do it as much with stories, but I do it with stories. If I'm in like a promotional period or I have an event coming up, I tend to get a little prettier with my stories around like my promotional stuff. So you can really come in here and look at like typing in anything. Like if it's a course, like an online course, you have different templates that they're going to do, or maybe you're doing a workshop. So you can come in here, and once you create your promo pieces, you can use them over and over again, just saying. And maybe you're doing a launch of a new program, so you can make them look fancy. You can tell stories about it. You can just show your face and talk about it, but it's cool to have some of these little things. You can even come in and type in things like tips, and it'll give you like 3 tips if you want to share 3 tips for the day, or if you wanted to do, let's see, here's like a testimonial. Testimonials are great. So once you get these created, you can rinse and repeat them. If you get a new testimonial, you already have the template, you can plug it in. And you can organize these by those different things if you'd like. For stories, like if you want to have a testimonials Canva page, if you want to have a tips Canva, story page or whatever, you can just open up new pages over here and however you want to have it organized. So you can see here I have like my gifts. I have this I organized for an event. This is different graphics that I've created for banners. These are all my YouTube thumbnails, and you can just keep them organized however it works for you. And so now, again, you come in here and you can rearrange your colors however you want those to be, and customize it, to your liking. And then just swap out the pictures, making it super, super easy. So that is how I use stories. I'm trying to think if there's there's tips, there's promo stuff, and questions. You can do questions as well. Which is another fun way to engage with people. So you can do things like this, and then you can actually put, this one doesn't look like they would engage necessarily, but maybe there's a frequently asked question that you can incorporate, or maybe a checklist it looks like. So you can really come in here and look at different engagement type things too, to see what's going on. And you can search by your niche. So if you type in food, you can see what comes up with food or fitness, and then plug in that way too through your niche. So this is really, really fun. And once you have these done, you can, again, change the content and keep the template. So then what we're going to get into, something else I really love for Canva, is presentations. I love, like if you're doing a webinar or a masterclass, can we talk about how time consuming PowerPoint was, okay, and trying to animate it and all of the things. Now on Canva, you can actually look at different presentations and just find one that works for you. You don't have to necessarily keep the same coloring or anything. You can adjust all that. And if you click on it, it'll just open up all the templates. Can we talk about how I love donuts? Like, I would totally use this template for something. It's just fun. So yeah, figuring out what you like. And then this would be kind of the intro. And you can customize this to flow with your actual presentation. You don't have to use it all in the same order. Maybe use this slide a couple of times in a row, and you just keep duplicating and adding the slides that you want. And then you're just customizing the words. You're customizing the font, the colors, the graphics. You're probably not going to be talking about donuts, even though they're pretty. But at the end of the day, this makes it so much quicker for you to be able to customize a presentation. Maybe you're doing, I'm doing a challenge right now inside of the Online Performance Club, where I created my slides through Canva, and every day I go in and I do a 30-minute training, and I'm actually using slides that I made from there. So it makes it a lot easier. And then again, you can rinse and repeat using those over and over, because you're going to do the presentation probably more than once, or you're going to have it evergreen. So that is another way that I love to create. And then another way that I love to create is with, I use the magazine template. Because people ask, how do you create your ebooks and your freebies and all of that? And if you want to check those out, you can go to my library below. That's where you'll grab the other download, the guide for the 35 ideas and everything. But I create those inside of Canva using templates. It is so much easier. And here, I am someone that can create from scratch, and I have sometimes I have. I think 35 ideas, was pretty much from scratch. But it is way more time consuming, and most people don't want to deal. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, just coming in here and finding templates, and you're going to have way more options if you have the pro version of this. This is why I encourage you to have the pro version of this. But if you go into the magazine section, some of them you see, it'll just be like one page, like, oh, this could be my cover page, right? Or you can actually look for ones that have multiple pages that go with it. So you can plug and play more options with that. And, depending on how picture heavy you want it to be and all that kind of stuff is up to you. You can remove pictures, but this still gives you a good outline and a good framework to start with. I think I used this one for my Christian Entrepreneur Quiet Time Guide, actually, and plugged in a few of those. And here is some more as well. And it just makes it a lot easier for you to not have to really spend so much time doing this. So it's just something to think about. And, again, you're just going to duplicate, click on the ones that you want to create with. And if you're like, oh, this is too big of a picture for me, no problem, Bob. Just make it smaller, put it up here, and then you have more room to write stuff. You don't have to keep it exactly the way that it looks, but it does create a really nice guide. So you might be like, I'm over that. I just need to say a lot here. And you can copy and paste that. And then boom, write all the things you wanted to say. And then maybe you're like, but I do want to have a little picture of me, right? So then you can come over here to frames and grab a little picture. And let's make sure that's all the way forward here. And then we would just go like this, and then maybe put your picture right down here by your signature so people can still see your beautiful face, but there's just more to be said here. So this is a way that you can really create some pretty cool freebies, ebooks and guides, checklists, all that kind of stuff without the drama, okay? And lastly, one that I did share with you was the GIFs, which actually I'm just going to go into back into an Instagram post right here. Instagram portrait. And actually, I guess this is the new design that you want to have in place for Instagram, because it's the longer template, so that way you take up more real estate on the screen. Little bonus tip for you there. I don't know if carousels, I don't know what all the templates are, if they're going to come through over here. Let's double check. Yeah, they do. They have carousels over here. So you can use this template on Instagram for your carousels. And looks like they might be different templates, but that gives you more options. So that's always cool. Another cool trick though, by the way, let me see where those templates went. These. If you're like, I don't want this size. If you have the pro version, you can always resize it. So you can say, oh, never mind. I want it to be the new size. And then if you resize it, it's going to resize it to the proper size that you want the template to be. So that's pretty cool too. So if you're like, wait, I like the templates that are showing up in the other version, you can still do those. You just get to resize it. And that's another cool feature of the paid version. So I digress. So now we're over here, and one thing that I love to do is GIFs. We're actually going to go to a square post for this because I don't think there's a lot of options with the other ones. So I will go type in something like Twitter because I like these little square styled looks to graphics. And so what you can do is you can pick any one of them, and this one doesn't really have a box or anything. And what you can do is actually, if you click down and hover over all of this, you can pull it up a little bit more. But then what I like to do is go down to Giphy. And I will find usually more of this styled video where it's more landscape, not portrait. So it just fits well. So it's not like a square or anything like that. But maybe let's say we use this. And we want to put this on here. And then you want to like caption this GIF. You know, and maybe it has something to do with a promotion or something about your business. Like when you finally land your first dream client. That was my last video I did, by the way, how to land your first dream client. So you might want to go watch it. And maybe we'll just delete that. But you know, you can caption this. You can put your pictures here. We'll move these over. And then it has just the little gift here. These are just fun. And you know, there's even other strategies where you can actually do this more as like a 1-second reel and things like that. But this is how you would create them. And so I would just come in, not super fan of those leaves. I can come in and find maybe a different picture. I'm big on like my little brick walls and things like that, or I can even add something like this and see what it would look like if we just make that a little more transparent or something. So just plug in your information, your picture, and then bam, you're done. And if you're like, no, I really want to center all this, just highlight it and move it up and center it and you're good. So then you just, again, add another one and you find another Twitter type template. Here's a good one because this already has kind of a video square there. So you can come into Giphy and you can type in, you could type in anything you want. But then if we add this, it doesn't look like we're going to need that. We'll just add this in over here and we can kind of size it down a little and move that over here. And look, he's so excited. So then you can come in and do the same thing here. So you have a few different templates for your GIFs. This is how we do it. So then you're going to add another one and keep repeating the process until you have a few different options for your templates that you can constantly come back in and rinse and repeat. So we'll go back and, you know, the Twitter one, you can also do like reminder. Sometimes has those good little features like this. And then you can come in and plug in the GIF here. So anything that has like those little boxes when you're searching helps to find that kind of a thing. And then again, we'll just delete that whole element and then come back over to Giphy, type in funny. And then just a lot of times I just look at different GIFs and then think, okay, how could I caption this or make this relevant to the post that I'm looking to make or anything like that. And then again, you can customize that. We can add our own stuff. So you get what I'm doing here. But this just really helps to be able to keep everything organized, keep everything solid. And I'm excited to have you try it. And voila, there are my templates. Now, with that being said, you don't have to create the exact type of content that I create. So what I suggest doing is really sitting down and thinking about what types of content you like to create. Do you like creating carousels? Do you like creating reels? If you go to my Instagram account over at jenjohnson.official, you'll see some of my reels have covers and some of them don't. And so I switch things up that way as well. So you can get some more ideas over on my gram. Follow me while you're there. But ultimately, think about the types of content you want to create, but then apply this technique to where you're batching it, you're keeping it all organized in one place, And once you have your templates in place, you can start to just take those different templates that you're utilizing and switch out the content, switch out the graphics or your pictures of you, whatever that looks like, and you're good to go. Okay, on every video, I love to do a mindset minute, and this is that minute. So I want to share with you the mindset that I want to help you unhook from is I'm not techie or I'm not that creative. At the end of the day, whatever you tell yourself, you're bringing that into your space. You're bringing it into your business, you're bringing it into your life, and it's showing up in your results. So I want to encourage you to stop telling yourself that you're not capable, because at the end of the day, it's never been easier to create things like this on Canva, graphics, technical, funnels, all of those things. And I come from a space where I knew none of this too. We all start out not knowing anything about anything until we decide to step into it. So the question is, are you capable? Most of the time, yes. But the better question is, are you willing? Are you willing to give it a try? Are you willing to even maybe not be that amazing at it at first? Let me tell you, if you go back on my YouTube channel and look at my thumbnails, they weren't that amazing. But things have evolved. The way Canva works, I've done some really old Canva videos in my past, on my channel, and the Canva has evolved since creating those graphics. So understand that you get to evolve, but you have to start. You get to allow yourself to start and play with this and have fun with it. And don't try to take it so seriously, but allow yourself to be creative and see if you really have a knack for it. You might actually be amazing at it. You might actually become someone who designs these templates and sells them, but you got to allow yourself the chance to be able to do it. So think of those negative thoughts that come up around doing this kind of creative work and allow yourself to create a new thought that will support you in getting into the work. There's actually a video I suggest that you watch if you really need a pep talk on this called But I Don't Know How. And I'm going to link it here for you so you can watch it as soon as we're done here, because you really need to understand that you are stopping yourself most of the time. Most of the time, the thing that's in your way is you, and I am here to give you the cold hard truth and get you out of your way. Now, I know graphics are one way to really capture people's attention and their eye, but what if you want clients right now and you want to really just get yourself in front of your dream clients so that you can go enroll ASAP? Well, I do have a free guide. It's 35 ideas and strategies to be able to go out and find those dream clients and put yourself in front of them. As much as I love these passive marketing strategies and techniques and the creativity around the graphics, you also want to have a very proactive approach in getting yourself in front of your dream clients. So be sure to download that guide because it is absolutely going to support you. So thank you for creating with me today. I love doing this stuff. I geek out on it. It's pretty therapeutic actually if you get into it. And I'd love to check out your creations. So if you do end up creating anything, be sure to tag me on Instagram, share it to your stories because I would love to check it out. Other than that, my friend, God bless, keep the faith, impact the world, and I will see you right here next week.